The hardest part of YouTube isn't the editing or the gear, it's the mental battle. So here are 3 mindset shifts that helped me finally start. So first of all, the first mindset shift I went through was that I understood that our first videos aren't actually supposed to be good. Okay, and that might sound counterintuitive because you're like, why are we posting videos then if they're not going to be good? But the whole point of your first videos is you're practicing in public. That is the point. You're practicing in public because if you've started and you've gotten over that initial threshold, that barrier where there's so much fear, uncertainty and doubt holding you back, and you've been able to push past that, you've done one of the hardest things. You've now made yourself vulnerable and you're out in the public, okay? You're visible. But the whole point of your first videos is just to practice in public. It's just to get comfortable being uncomfortable. And over time, that discomfort is going to dissolve and you're going to be able to see that in your videos. You're going to be able to see that when you watch back your footage. And the viewers are going to get to see that as well. But often, a lot of people aren't watching at the start. And that leads me to the next mindset shift that I had, is that no one is really watching at the start. That's just the truth, okay? And that's not a curse. It's actually a gift. It's a blessing that no one's watching because it gives you the freedom to experiment without all of the pressure. You don't have 1,000 subscribers or 10,000, 100,000 subscribers waiting on your next upload and the pressure's on to make it, better than the last video. No one's watching. So it doesn't really matter. You don't have the pressure. You can just show up, practice your craft in public and get better at it over time. And the third mindset shift that helped me actually start posting videos on YouTube is understanding that quantity actually leads to quality. So what do I mean by that? Because a lot of people would think that you have to put in all of your time and effort to make the best video possible, especially if you're starting out, because no one knows who I am. So I've got to make the best things in sliced bread so people actually watch it. And that is a valid point. But the problem is that YouTube doesn't trust you yet. They don't have enough data on your channel. YouTube is a business, okay? They want to serve videos to people who they know will stay. They want to make sure that you're going to put bums on seats and people are going to stay and watch the whole video. They're going to watch the advertisements and they're then going to stay on YouTube because they've had a good experience. So YouTube doesn't trust you yet because you haven't uploaded enough. So they're not going to give you a chance to be seen by thousands. It just doesn't happen when you start out. So another benefit of actually focusing and leaning on quantity versus quality at the start is that you actually learn faster by doing. Okay, you actually learn faster by taking action and doing it. You're not overthinking one video. Okay, that's not what you want to do. You don't want to overthink one video. We're going to learn faster by doing more, and we're not going to overthink one video. Because if you overthink one video or your first video or your next video, you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself, and inevitably it's not going to get seen by anyone when you're new. So you're then going to feel dejected, you're going to feel demotivated, and you're going to be questioning yourself. You're going to be questioning, is it because I'm not good enough? Is this really for me? And all those, fear, uncertainty and doubt is going to come up. It's going to bubble up again. That stuff that you managed to push down to actually put your first upload out there, it's going to come back and try and drag you back into being a consumer and not a creator. And we don't want that to happen. Okay, so we have to understand that, especially at the start, quantity leads to quality. The more videos you put out there, the more practice you gain in all of the skill sets, all of the facets that are required to create videos. You're also going to get more data as well, and that is going to help you going forward to understand what type of content is valuable for your audience and what type of content doesn't resonate with them. So these 3 mindset shifts really did help me push past the fear and perfectionism that I was plagued with. I was plagued with that fear and perfectionism. It really held me back from uploading my first videos. And it wasn't until I understood these 3 mindset shifts that your first videos are not supposed to be good. It's practice in public. 2, no one is really watching at the start, which is actually a blessing. And 3, quantity actually leads to quality. So write these down. If you've got a notebook, write these down and remind yourself of them. Read them on a daily basis and remind yourself that by changing your perspective, it's going to help you have a sustainable long-term journey on YouTube. So if you can reframe how you think about creating, everything else gets easier. So if we adopt this new perspective, everything's going to get easier, okay? Because we're not focusing on these short-term, results. We're looking at it as, okay, this is the warm-up stage. I acknowledge that I'm starting a new channel and I have to warm it up. We have to warm up this channel, and I also have to warm up myself, okay? And I have to warm up the YouTube algorithm to trust me, and I have to warm up the viewers as well and understand what it is that they want, what is it that they like. And you can't do that by just overthinking and thinking in your head. It's trapped in there, it's useless. You have to get it out there into the world. You have to take action. And how do we do that on YouTube? Well, we make videos and we upload them, and then we do the same thing again and again and again. We try and focus on incremental improvements, small improvements each time. We're not looking to become a YouTube expert or professional by video 2. No, leave that for video 2000. Okay, this is a long-term journey that we're on. So if you're still afraid to put yourself online for everyone to see, because that is a very valid fear that we all have, is we don't want to put ourselves out there because we fear that we're not good enough. We fear we're going to be judged. It's a very common thing. It really stopped me from starting my YouTube journey earlier than I actually did. So if you are still afraid, I've actually made a whole video about this, including actionable steps that will help you overcome this fear. So click here to get over your fears, and thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one.